Warning, the following is entirely satirical and should not be taken as truth or fact. Styles Rebel Radio and the Rebel Podcast do not own any copyrighted material that may be included in this broadcast. Viewer discretion is advised.
No, I'm not skimping. You're getting a leader.
Oh.
Suspend the show right now.
You're gonna zipline directly into the harpoon?
Yeah,
What do you know about planes?
I know a lot about planes.
Buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hands on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore. Welcome to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene. To my right, he's not a gorilla, but he can beat off 100 men. It's Shane E.
Howdy.
On the board is Jules.
Hi. He can do what?
I'm Radio's Rebel DJ Style.
I can beat off more than 100 men. You haven't seen nothing yet.
At least 100 men. How about that?
Listen, I could beat off 100 gorillas. All right?
You want to put that to the test?
I'm a mad
Should I
man.
call PETA?
I'm a mad man. Lois? Is that you?
216-859-8699. That's 216-859-8699 if you work at PETA. You want to confront Shane about his beating off. You can feel free to text that number. We're live today on this Monday evening right here on WSRR Radio. And we're onion free.
Onion free since 2009. I actually just recently started liking onions on my burgers. I don't know if that's a big deal for you guys or not, but
I love
I'm glad you grew the fuck up.
yeah. Well, I've always liked onion rings and I've always liked Funyuns, but maybe over
Funyuns
the
are
last...
not at all a determination of onions.
Well, Funyuns are onion flavored chips.
They're
Thus,
fun, the unflavored chips.
no, they're onion. It says that on the back. Onion flavored chips.
But they're fun.
They are fun. I don't disagree.
They don't taste like onions.
Kind of.
They really don't taste like onion. Like, if you eat a raw onion, it's not the same as eating a Funyun.
So you're just admitting to eating raw onions
Actually?
frequently?
Yeah. He does do that.
Sick. I'm glad I have a partner in this.
I like onions, Shane.
I'm glad
What can I say?
I'm glad I have someone else I can confide in about
Yeah.
my
You know how they make, like, caramel apples?
caramel. Yeah.
Hand those out in
No.
October. Well, this man's not going to get one, I can tell you that much. Or maybe he is.
A caramel covered
Caramel
onion?
dipped onion, yeah. Halloween caramel onions at the WSRR studio at
So,
Hat Night.
there's a guy in Texas. I really like his name. It's Demiri Ardell Wilson.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Demiri. And he filed a petition last month with Texas 269th
Jurisdiction.
No. Judicial?
Oh.
Judicial
Judicial
District
Court.
Court of Harris County.
We
All
got
guys,
there.
I think I got it from here.
It's been a week, all right?
So he claimed that his burger had onions on it when he asked for no onions. And Whataburger Wilson accused them of failing to, quote, act in accordance with the appropriate standard of care, and which caused him to suffer, quote, personal injuries.
That's crazy. I love that.
I mean,
Do we know if it actually did? Like, did he have an actual... Was he actually allergic to onion, or he just didn't want onion on his burger?
I don't care either way. I think this is valid. If they put onions on your burger and you said no onions, you sue.
I mean...
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it doesn't even say that he is necessarily allergic to onions. It just says that when he ate it, he had an allergic reaction that needed medical attention. So, I mean, I guess that means that he is
Right.
there's a
he-
difference between being allergic to onions and having an allergic reaction to, like, maybe bad food or something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's not, like, deathly allergic, I would assume, but... I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't
Maybe
know
he had like hives.
I didn't know you could be allergic to onions.
Yeah, right.
You can be allergic to anything.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
listen, onions are not listed on Whataburger's possible allergens on their website under
Ooh.
possible allergens.
Which is crazy. So if you can be allergic to anything, who are Whataburger or any restaurant or any food place for that matter to have a approved list of allergens? Like, make sure if someone asks for no peanut, we don't use the fryer oil that has peanuts in it. Make sure, if
Right.
someone says, what else
Right.
is a major allergy? Gluten. If someone says gluten, there's no bread near this thing. But like onion is equally as much of an allergy, apparently.
They have at like the bottom of most menus, they have like a list that says like eggs, wheat, and
Right,
like
like the little logos.
yeah,
The
and lets you know like what
Mhm.
allergies to be aware of. If things it says may include these. But my allergies are never on there. I'm allergic to mangoes, and people make random things with mangoes all the time.
Yeah, right. And so you just have to know
I
not to
usually
order.
just ask.
Right.
Like if somebody says, "Oh, this tastes a little sweet," or "This might have mangoes in it," I ask the waiter, "Hey, can you ask what's in this?" And if they don't know, I don't eat it.
And so then, yeah, again, my whole thing, did he let the server know that he was allergic to onions, or did he just say
He
no?
probably
No
just
onion.
said no onion.
Yeah, right.
Which, do you have to? If I'm ordering
No.
without onions,
You shouldn't
Yeah.
have to.
there shouldn't
You're
be
right.
onions. I
Right.
shouldn't have to disclose my HIPAA information to you. That's a HIPAA violation.
Well,
Asking me what I'm allergic to.
Get my hip out of here, man.
if you're allergic to onions, it might be on you to let them know so they don't cross contaminate.
I'm telling you, no onion. No onion. That means I shouldn't taste onion on this fucking burger.
Well, it doesn't mean there wasn't
Yeah,
cross contamination.
But also, I don't know.
If I'm worried about that, if my allergy is severe enough to where I'm worried about cross contamination, then I'm saying I have an onion allergy.
Right.
If
Yeah.
it's something where I'm comfortable going to a burger place that has onions on their
Right.
burger and saying, hey,
Right.
no onion,
Right.
it can't be that serious.
Yeah, because like
Well,
if
and
I go
also,
to a
like-
smoothie place, I tell them I'm allergic to mangoes. Please
You have
keep
to
that
know
apart.
if you're allergic to onions, you have to know going in, like, hey, I should let them know specifically that I have an onion allergy because this is a burger restaurant.
Yeah.
So, like how you in a smoothie place say, hey, I'm allergic to mangoes
Yeah.
because that is
Something that would be at a smoothie place.
Right.
Like onions would be out of yeah.
Right. So I feel like it's
Is he just not giving enough information and now he's lucky? Because
Listen.
like this is valid. This is a valid lawsuit.
I say so.
you guys are gonna have to help me with the numbers, but he's asking for monetary relief of over 250,000.00, but less than 1,000.
He's asking for monetary relief over 250,000, but less than $1 million.
Told you guys I learned how to
Quarter
read.
of $1 million.
Told you guys I learned how to figure out numbers.
Lied.
I lied.
Just for that one episode. He studied
Yeah.
that article day
Yeah.
and night.
Yeah.
Threw it in ChatGPT. I had to read it back to
lied.
him.
Don't know how to read shit.
So he's asking for over $250,000
Good for
in
him.
this lawsuit. I don't think he's going to get it. However, I'm rooting for him. I think at any time, if you ask for something specifically and they ignore it, there needs to be repercussion.
The plot pot thickens, ladies and gents. This is not the first time Wilson has sued over onions. He also sued Sonic Drive-In last year for serving him onions in a meal which he purchased on April 14th, 2023. The Houston Chronicle reported he said that the onions made him, quote, feel sick and left him with, quote, serious personal injuries that made him seek out medical care. Sonic also denies the allegations, telling Wilson he should, quote, be required to prove the charges and allegations, quote, against the company.
Okay, hang on.
Sonic said prove it.
I was with Sonic until that last part. I
Well,
was starting to
the
think
lawsuit-
that maybe this guy wasn't actually allergic to onions and he's just trying to get some money. But until Sonic said, well, fucking, you should have to prove that you're allergic to onions then. Fuck you, Sonic. I asked for it without onions.
I don't
Serve
know.
it to me without onions.
I don't know.
How hard? How hard can it be
No.
to not put onions on the burger? I'm
They-
asking you to
the-
do less work.
The lawsuit was thrown out.
It's ridiculous.
The lawsuit was thrown out. So
And
even
he's
the
trying
courts,
it again.
Yeah, because he's a sneaky bastard.
Well, just stop putting fucking onions on the man's burger.
You are on the wrong side.
No,
right
he
now.
needs to
No.
show up to
Honestly-
Whataburger and be like, you know who I am? You know what I will do if you put onions on this burger?
Do you see this face? Do you not know that I'm allergic to onions? The
You want
fuck
to
are
know the
you,
last
dude?
people that put onions on my burger?
I will sue the fuck out of your employer.
I will see you in court, Cashier Bradley.
I
Dude.
feel like Style just wants to sue people that put pickles on his burgers.
I will. Now that there's grounds for it?
I'm all down
Now
for
that there's
suing
grounds for
people. I think that suing people is fine under the right circumstances. I think that this guy may or may not be fishing for a payday.
I'm not saying that I think he's. I'll put it this way. I think maybe he's exaggerating his onion allergy a little bit.
Personal injuries.
I'm thinking maybe he's not personally injured. If his symptoms were just, I felt sick. I'm thinking maybe he's not, deathly allergic to onions. However, the man asked for no onion. He should not have to get onion. It's not that hard. It's really not.
He calls it a Wilson called the meal a manufacturing defect, that it was, quote, unsafe to eat. The manufacturing defect was the inclusion of onions, he said.
I think he needs to find different terms to use here. I think he's
That's a
suing for the wrong
manufacturing
things.
defect right there. This guy's got
Who
marbles in
manufactured
his
this
brain.
burger? Let me see the machine.
Oh god, yeah, this guy's
Turn
a
off the onion switch.
fucking robot, dude.
I-
I'm suing.
Listen, if he was suing on different grounds, like false advertising, if you have a receipt that says no onion and your burger has onion, sue him for false advertising.
Right. So Whataburger denies the allegations and asks for, quote, strict proof from.
Oh my goodness.
What do you mean? That's the most bullshit part, though.
I think that if this man is trying to sue a company for like over $250,000, I think that he should show proof that he is allergic to onions.
I think
That's a lot of money.
All the proof he needs.
Is that he went to the doctor after eating Whataburger?
No.
And
That's
have his receipt.
that's still
and
too
a
much.
picture of the
Yeah, just have a receipt that
No.
says no onion. That's all the proof he needs. I don't care if he's
No.
allergic or not. The fact that he was served onions when he was told, I don't want onion.
Dude, you're dying on this BK have it your way hill.
What's so hard about not putting something on a burger?
I mean, I don't
You're blatantly
disagree
ignoring.
with you.
The customer is
But
always right.
listen,
and you're blatantly ignoring the
if-
customer.
If this guy was potentially, now let's go to hypothetical land. If this guy was potentially fishing for a lawsuit, do you think that it might be potentially possible that he would maybe, backdoor some onions and slice them
You
on
think he's got onions in his car?
I think he's doing the pickle under the tongue trick from
I don't
SpongeBob.
I don't think he's bubble bass.
I think he's bubble bassing it and pulling the onions out from like his car or something, putting them in there, eating them, and being like, "Oh,
He's
manufacturing
making himself sick.
defect."
There's CCTV footage of him at the fucking Marks buying onions earlier in the day. Yeah.
Sneaking the onions into the burger.
In the parking lot, opens
Yeah,
the fucking
yeah.
package and sticks some onions in. What are these?
Very
Why doesn't
like,
he open the burger before he eats it?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have to.
That's
no,
another- no.
no, absolutely not. He should not have to.
All
If
right.
I order something without pickle or without onion, I should have the confidence that when I bite into it, those things aren't on there.
All right. Hopefully he's run out of air by now. I think that this is a situation where, like, if you're
allergic, you check.
If you're allergic, you should check. I get food that's plain all the time. I get plain food very regularly. And I think that is something that I just did that today. I ordered a quarter pounder from McDonald's, a very specific way that I like it. Before I even pulled out of the
Stepped on.
parking lot, I opened the box and checked it to make sure that it was right.
Looked under the hood, made sure it all looked good.
Checked it out, made sure it was looking good. I'm a smart man. I know what I'm getting into when I go around a McDonald's drive-thru. I'm fucking around. I could potentially find out.
If I work at a Ford dealership and you come in
All right.
and you buy a 2023 Ford Flex,
All
you're
right.
going to assume that the seats come in the car.
Yeah.
When I roll up and drop your car off in front of the building, you're going to check the seats to make sure they're in there before you sign that paper?
This is a
You're
very,
not. You're going to assume the seats are in
You're
there.
appling my
I'm
orange.
assuming
You're
the
appling my
pickle's
orange.
not on the burger.
You're appling my orange. A Ford car dealership is way different than a fucking Whataburger.
I don't think it is.
Well,
I think they're pretty much 1-to-1.
216-859-8699. Whataburger or Ford car dealership.
If LimeWire taught us anything, your digital music is free and open to piracy, and even manipulation when it comes to digital distribution. So why settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around on the internet? Make your release something special with Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants and works with local artists to get their next release pressed exactly to their liking. So check out Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl pressing plant today by visiting hellbendervinyl.com to get started. And don't forget, all customers at Hellbender Vinyl get 5 free test presses at no additional charge. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com.
Did you know that eating natural honey can help with your seasonal allergies? Hatch's Honey is glad to be your source for delicious, local, raw honey. With great spring and summer mixes plus blueberry, hot, cinnamon, and more, you can order online today at hatcheshoney.com or stop by in person at the Hartville Flea Market Pavilion on Saturdays or Thursdays at the Talmadge Farmers Market. For more information or to order online, visit hatcheshoney.com today. Hatch's Honey, healthy and delicious.
Are you ready, kids? It's me, distinctively non-copyright unspecified Sponge Man, and you're listening to the Rebel Radio Show on WSRR. Make the switch.
Hey, welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. If you're a local or independent artist out there working on your next EP, single, album, or release, make sure you check out SynergyMusicStudio.com for recording, mixing, mastering, production, live session work, reamping, and more. Synergy Music Studio is your one-stop destination for all your mixing and mastering needs. Once again, SynergyMusicStudio.com. And if you're in the CLE, the AKN, is that what we decided was Akron?
I think that's probably Akron.
I'm just going to say the 330.
AKN, yeah, 330 sounds a lot better.
If you're in the CLE, the 330.
The 216, the 330.
I'm a 440 myself.
I'm
You know that
also a 440.
It doesn't. I don't know if I've said this on air before. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. I went to get a new phone and I had to get a new number,
Yeah,
and
you
they were
just
like,
pick.
what area code do you want? 216, 330, 440? And I was like, I'm not moving. And they're like, you don't have to. I was
Yeah.
like, that's crazy.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, super wild.
The whole
That's
days
crazy.
of like not having to dial your area code because you're in your area. That's over.
Right.
We don't.
It's not an area code anymore.
Yeah, no. It's just.
Just your phone number.
It's just a code.
Well, the reason I was talking about that is because
Sorry.
right down the road here is Hatch's Honey. They're a local, raw, natural honey farm, and they have a whole bunch of flavors and products for you to try, like all natural honey sticks. They have flavors like blueberry, cinnamon, hot, and more, including lavender as well. So, for Hatch's Honey, you can go to hatcheshoney.com today, and they are their own bee farm. They will not be affected by this 250 million bee shortage on the highway in northern
there's
Washington.
no shortage.
Well, there is wherever they were going.
It's a shortage
Yeah.
now. I guess it's a surplus there.
Yeah,
But
surplus. Where were they going?
It said it was on the Canada-U.S. border, but I'm not exactly sure.
So this article that I have here is emergency officials have been busy as of late cleaning up a commercial truck full of beehives crashed in northern Washington. It unleashed 250 million bees. So, hope you like honey.
So we've talked about vodka being spilled on the highway, nacho cheese, tomatoes, chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dimes.
dimes,
Mm-hmm.
and now bees.
Yeah, buddy.
The big six, really.
The Sinister Six.
The sinister six.
Oh, God.
What is the most sinister of the sinister six? Of nacho cheese,
I think
chocolate, coins,
bees.
bees,
Or-
vodka.
I was really pulling for nacho cheese gots to suck. That has to suck getting nacho. Like,
Nacho cheese is up there.
just the pure thought of having to get nacho cheese out of my car wheels, because it's going to take more than going through a car wash, I think.
Yeah.
I'd have to go to
You have
like
to
a
eat some chips.
You'd have
Get
to
a
get some
lot
elbow
of
grease in there.
yeah, I feel like I
Get
have to
in the
go to a
tires.
mechanic, give him a lot of chips. Like, all right, eat this for me, please.
I don't know how to do auto nachos.
But yeah, I think nacho cheese might be, maybe that's my pick. But bees also sucks too.
No, bees is the better.
No,
Best-
okay.
the two best. Hang on, the two best. Number one,
There's no best.
no, there is a best. We've determined that dimes is the best because of the like you get to
It's a-
shovel up some dimes.
It's not after. I feel like after the first time that it makes the sound, I would be done. I'd be like, you know what? This actually isn't that fun anymore.
No, I'm gonna hate it every time I'm not making that sound. Every time that sound happens,
When
it's
you're
gonna-
shoveling
it's
up
gonna
bees.
suck me right back in.
Shoveling up the bees or the nacho cheese. They're
Vibrating my
stinging
shovel.
you.
I honestly think like
Bees are the
driving
two best.
through 250 million bees, they would be getting into your car like you can't see through that.
What is your guys' idea of bees? Like
Big
Bees.
swarm.
You know what? The bee-looking ones.
You know,
You
bees.
seen the movie Jerry Seinfeld?
No, he hasn't.
I haven't. I've
Oh,
never seen
well,
the bee movie.
Yeah.
That's on you.
That's
That's
his
on you.
problem.
Maybe that's the issue here.
It
I don't know what
really
bees
is.
You don't have an emotional connection.
I don't. But here's the problem. Bees fucking move. They're not staying stagnant in that one
But-
spot.
Yeah,
like,
but they're gonna
there's-
be
They're gonna
freaking
disperse.
out.
No,
They're gonna be
they're
like,
free.
"Whoa, where are we?"
They're
Listen,
free.
listen.
They're gonna be like, "I've never been to Washington before."
There's 250 million of them. I guarantee there's a big swarm happening.
And then it's gone.
No,
couple
they stay
seconds.
with the queen.
Couple seconds, then they'd leave.
No, but the queen's booking too.
Yeah,
Wherever
they're
there's
not
probably
hanging out on the bridge.
multiple.
They are gonna be hanging out. I bet there's a lot of bee nests on that bridge right now.
No.
What? Oh, you don't know that though. You don't know that.
As much as I've researched bees,
Shut the
I
fuck
can
up.
confidently-
You haven't. None. For the listeners at home, zero research
I can
of
confidently
bees.
say no.
Okay, you know what? All right, I'll let that one slide.
The truck tips over, the bees get loose,
Dude.
and then they're flying in every direction all over. For a brief second, you're gonna see a big swarm of bees, and then they're gonna be dispersed. It's over.
I
They're not
really
stuck
don't
on the
think
bridge.
so. I think they're sticking around
No,
at
why
least
would
a
they
while.
stay?
Because
Why?
there's 250 million of them.
They're being transported in a truck. They're not gonna want to stick around. They
The truck
already
tip-
don't want to be there.
The truck tipped over at 4 a.m.
So no one's even on the highway.
Bees are not night animals.
What?
You think they're gonna stay in there and sleep?
Yeah,
They're
there's
staying in
gonna
the
be
truck?
less. They're gonna be like, oh man, well, I'm tired. I'm just gonna go back to bed, I
I
guess.
don't think you know shit about bees.
I've seen the movie. I'm pretty sure I know a lot about
Well,
them.
I've seen Seinfeld.
So have I.
So like, cancels out.
No,
It's all a bee
doesn't.
movie is.
no.
Animated Seinfeld.
There's bees and there's a movie.
I understand the gist of the bee movie. Jerry's a bee. This lady wants to fuck him.
Why are
There's a tennis ball.
the
No.
bees the best option?
They're not. They're the second best option. Coins.
I think the
'Cause the-
dimes would be really hard to drive
No,
through.
I am getting out of my car and shoveling the dimes.
No,
We're
I'm
talking
not.
cleanup, by the way.
I'm getting to my destination before you
Everything I'm talking
because
about,
I'm not stopping for the dimes.
everything that I'm talking about is like me actively driving through them.
You could drive the dimes.
I got a
See, I
truck.
don't know if I'm thinking about. I think
I have a
sometimes
truck.
I'm thinking about actively driving through them. Other times I'm thinking about if
Clean up.
I was just on the highway and like, yeah, maybe had to clean it up or something.
I'm
like
thinking
that.
the two worst. The two worst are vodka and nacho cheese.
Vodka. There's no cleanup.
Vodka, your car's
Rain.
gonna reek of alcohol, and as soon as you leave city limits, a cop's gonna pull you over, and you're going to get arrested.
No, you just tell them. I was on that.
I was in the vodka accident.
I was in the vodka tip over accident
They're
on
gonna say,
Saskatchewan
"Sir,
Bridge.
They're gonna say, "Sir, step out of the car."
Yeah, they're gonna search. Nothing's gonna be in there. It's
Yeah,
gonna
right.
reek, and
Right.
you're just gonna
You're
say,
gonna take
yeah.
a breathalyzer. It's gonna come out clean. They're gonna be like, all right.
Do I get pulled over though if it's fucking tomatoes? I don't. Tomatoes are a better option to drive through.
What were the other ones?
Chocolate, tomatoes, nacho cheese, coins, bees.
There was more, wasn't there?
I feel like there's been more, but we've also talked about a million billion things.
Oh, how about trucks stop tipping over? There's the one that was dropping Apple products last week.
Oh yeah.
So there's that one too. I guess you can count that.
That
That's
was
probably
a
one of the better
heist.
ones. No, that,
That
was, an
was a
accident.
heist.
No,
That
it
was
an
a
accident.
heist.
They accidentally did that.
I feel like bees are probably still the worst, but also if
How-
if I'm driving through it, it's not the worst.
Tell me in what scenario bees are the worst, because it's not for cleanup. It takes care of itself. It's not
You're
for
No,
driving through.
it
I
doesn't.
think
It
driving
doesn't
through
take
it-
care of itself.
They're gonna fly away. I'm not
No.
scooping
No,
bees.
they're staying in that environment
They're
and
not.
they're destroying it.
They're staying in the environment of all of Washington. They're not staying in the environment of this fucking road.
No, yeah, I feel like a lot of them would.
I don't think so.
I feel like a lot of
And
them
even
would.
if they do, how does that affect me? Driving to work.
You're
There's
gonna
bees
get,
everywhere
gonna
all
get
the time.
stung.
I'm not.
You're gonna get
Hey,
stung.
That,
How often are you driving and a bee stings
Your
you?
car's gonna slurp one up
on that bridge, make sure you close your
right
window.
through the air vents.
No,
Yeah,
you don't need to close your windows. There's bees everywhere all the
You're gonna
time.
get bug bite.
You know how often bees just come near me?
And how often do they sting you in your car?
Once.
Okay, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
But it happened.
I will
Still pretty
say,
good.
one time I did a vanishing bee act in my car. I was sitting in the McDonald's parking lot and I looked over and there was a bee and I freaked out and I got out of the car and I shooed it out and then like 2 more popped up and I opened up all my windows and I shooed them out and then I closed my windows, sat back down in the car, another bee pops up. I'm like, why are there so many fucking bees in my car? It was really scary actually.
Let me
I was
get this
afraid to drive
straight.
home after that.
You were parked in the parking lot
I was.
and you got out of your car.
There were bees.
And then you got back in your car and there were more bees.
I thought the bees were
and
gone.
you didn't just drive away
There were bees in my car.
with the windows down and just drive. They'll leave.
No, no. They were sitting in the seat next to me. Not even joking. They were like nestled
What
up.
was in your car that they wanted?
I don't know. I tried to figure that out. I
Yeah.
don't know. I like looked under my passenger seat and shit. I was very confused.
Yeah.
And I like sniffed the corner of my seat. And I was like, is there honey or something like that? I didn't know. I was like, is there sugar? What's going on? Because it was like literally a vanishing bee act. It just kept coming.
But they didn't sting you.
I did not get stung. Maybe-
Bees are peaceful.
Bees can be peaceful.
They can be.
Not all bees, though. Some bees are mean bees.
Okay, these aren't like yellow jackets getting transported. I'm pretty sure these are honeybees if we're transporting them.
They were.
I don't know.
They were honeybees.
Well, honeybees are nice.
So this is one of the 2 best ones. Nacho cheese and vodka are the 2 worst.
Well, and the other thing that I'm thinking too, because there was a cleanup. There has to have been at least a
For the
cleanup crew
truck, yeah.
called. Well, for the truck, but also for the bees, because, and I don't think that it's that bad because they probably called beekeepers to keep the bees.
Yeah, it's not an issue. It's real, especially to the drivers. This isn't an issue.
Jules, I'm kind of on Style's side though. I think bees might be one of the best ones.
I'm
You just
telling you,
keep
coins and bees are the 2 best.
I don't think about coins.
Bees,
So then, what are the 2 worst?
vodka, and nacho cheese.
Okay.
Nacho
No,
cheese
because I feel like the vodka one, you can just talk your way out of it.
depends on how good you are drunk. 216-859-8699 if you need a breathalyzer.
Hi, this is Melissa.
Hey, it's Matt.
Hi guys, my name is Ari. Coming at you from Synergy Music Studio. Come through to a Synergy Naked session.
Synergy Naked is a live performance recording, also captured on video. Look for our releases on YouTube at Synergy Music Studio.
We're located on the south side near Chicago. Passing through.
Hit up our DMs on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
What's the difference between the shirt you're currently wearing and the one that I am? Well, both do their job of concealing us from the outside world and social boundaries. But one little black swoosh makes yours cost nearly double. That red rectangle may not change how warm you are, but it certainly changes the price tag. The truth is, nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Have a laugh at the big brand clothing company's expense with shirts that simply say sports team, political statement, music band, and more. A shirt for any occasion and the perfect gift. GenericClothes.com.
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show, legal in 47 states.
Whoa! Check it out!
Look at that.
GenericClothes.com.
Wow. Amazing. Generic.
Stick it to the big brand clothing companies. Have a laugh at their expense with genericclothes.com because nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with genericclothes.com. Proud supporters of WSRR radio and local and independent music, just like Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA. If you're an artist looking for your next album release to make something special, get it pressed on a variety of different colors and styles with hellbendervinyl.com. They work with local and independent artists to make your album pressed exactly the way you want it, and every customer gets 5 free test presses at no additional cost. Once again, that's hellbendervinyl.com. I want to know, because I know where to go to get my audio produced. I know where to go to get my honey. I know where to go to get my clothes. I know where to go to get my vinyl. Where do I go to get my bath water?
Online.
You can hit up.
Do you want your own bathwater? Because we can get into that.
We can go to the war room right now.
There would be so much. There'd be so much stock.
No, you should
of the style bathwater.
Stock of plenty.
You got buy one get one.
It'd be like vegetable broth.
And I'm
put it on the merch page.
And I'm not skimping.
Little jars.
I'm not skimping. You're getting a liter.
Oh.
Getting a lot.
Can I get a gallon?
No.
Getting a lot.
Only in liters.
A 1 liter,
One
like
liter.
a 1 liter bottle.
Yeah, I drink the 1 liter of Pepsi in the bath and fill it up with the water.
It's pretty sick.
Do not
honestly.
test it for urine.
Well,
Ew.
Yeah, Pepsi will go right through you.
you should hit up Dr. Squatch though. You should hit up our friends at Dr. Squatch.
The ones that won't sponsor us.
No, they're not our friends. They actually fuck Dr. Squatch. They apparently rip off like other companies.
Do they really?
Yeah, they just essentially drop ship and like repackage.
Oh,
their-
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
crazy because so I know like they do so Dr. Squatch did like the man scented soaps,
Mhm.
right? But like Duke Cannon was the company that did that first.
Yeah. So
and Duke Cannon's significantly less known than Dr. Squatch now.
they, from my understanding, again, this came out like when Dr. Squatch was popping off with like YouTube, like advertising for YouTubers
Sure.
and stuff, maybe 5-10 years ago. It came out that they were essentially buying from smaller brands, repackaging, and like attaching
really?
like collaborations and stuff like that. to them,
Really?
and then upselling them and calling it Dr. Squatch.
Well, I'm glad to say I never bought Dr. Squatch.
But Dr. Squatch is selling a soap that smells like Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. Whoa! Blah, 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 blah.
I thought we were over this by now. I thought who was the one that sold bathwater? Gamer girl bathwater.
Bella Delphine.
What was she?
She was just like a streamer,
Okay.
e-girl sort
Okay.
of thing.
Yeah, never knew what she was actually known for other than that. But
Yeah, I think just like doing
okay.
streaming and stuff.
But now we're doing it again. But this time in soap, right? Like
Yeah, it's just a soap that smells like her bathwater.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
So like if she uses lavender bubble bath, it's just gonna be lavender scented.
Yeah,
You
I
can
don't.
There's so much leeway with that.
It's just horny bait, if I'm being honest. Like, at least that's what it seems to me, is it's just horny bait.
I thought about this though.
Mm-hmm.
I like this a lot more than the Gamer Girl bathwater. Don't
Oh.
clip that because
Tastes a lot
it tastes a lot better. You get more bang for your buck.
valid.
You get to make your own bathwater with
Yeah,
it.
right,
It's great.
right,
Yeah.
right.
No, but I like this better because if you look at the target demo, who's buying this?
Mhm.
It's probably people who need to use soap. So at least they're getting
Mm.
soap.
It's like a loophole.
Yeah.
So it's a roundabout way to get them to wash their ass.
Right.
Really doing the chuds one over.
Doing the Lord's work
Yeah.
out here.
Who the hell is buying soap that is supposed to smell like Sydney Sweeney's bathwater?
The same kind of, exactly like Style said, the same kind of people that need to be using more fucking soap because they
Yeah.
stink.
Yeah.
They
Probably the first bar of
stink.
soap they've ever bought.
Yeah. But so I brought this in, and I brought it in because it was interesting, and I had read that Jacob
Fatu.
Jacob Eldatori or Editori, another co-star of Sydney
Edamame.
Sweeney's from Euphoria, also was selling a soap that smelled like his bathwater. But there was
Through Dr. Squatch?
I don't know if it was through Dr. Squatch. It might have been
Okay.
through a different company, but still, same concept
yeah.
of like, this is what my bathwater
I'm
smells
famous.
like. Right.
Smell my bath.
So I read a comment on Reddit that was there are no more true movie stars, because the comment above it says, did she get addicted to the hustle, or is she drowning in debt? Like, what's the reason for her selling this soap, right? Or what's the reason with her collabing with Dr. Squatch? And
Yeah.
the comment under it says, there are no more true movie stars. The only ones are the same ones from 30 years ago. These celebs have an extremely short shelf life, especially ones like her. She's got to capitalize now before the next one pops up. And I just thought it was an interesting conversation about like modern celebrities are not, modern movie stars and actors and actresses are not, like young ones our age, are not the same, like not viewed in the same light as like a Leonardo DiCaprio or an Angelina Jolie or Samuel Jackson or someone like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like it's the new like social media age. I feel like they're more accessible
right.
than Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Yeah.
Love their pizza.
And
You know,
yeah.
like the big A-listers, right?
Especially like with TikTok, everybody has a TikTok now. You can just follow them. They post their everyday lives. Everybody's on Instagram, and you can follow your favorite celebrities now
Right.
more than you ever could.
And I feel like I had a conversation with my wife about this, and she brought up like there are celebrities now that do a lot of like skincare partnerships,
Yeah.
or like alcohol
Makeup line.
or like an alcohol partnership, and then they have their own alcoholic beverage, and like that is kind of a newer thing, kind of old. Like,
I think that's probably a bigger token of it, is they realize there's more money to be made in sponsorships and your brand than there is being in consecutive movies. And there's a lot more growth.
more like residual from
Sure.
Dr.
Like
Squatch
Dale
rather
Earnhardt.
than
Yeah.
if she does 6 Dr. Squatches, that's the same as one movie or
Right.
something like that.
Well, like The Rock, right? He's done less and less movies, but he has more and more products now.
Right, and partnerships.
Yeah.
Right. So is he making the same amount of money from
He's
doing
probably
that?
making more.
I
Right.
would say more.
That's interesting. That is an interesting point of like the social media age, and that's kind of how we move now is
Business forward
right,
instead of
consumer forward, and like what we want to buy is kind of at the forefront rather than what we are. Like, you don't my wife brought up the point of like, you don't go to a movie to see an actor anymore. Like, I'm not going to go see the new Ryan Reynolds movie, right? Because I watch Ryan Reynolds and I want
Right.
to follow Ryan Reynolds, and whatever he does, I'm going to watch regard. It's not like that anymore. And it used to be like that.
Yeah.
That's how our parents and our grandparents, that's how, like, I remember watching the Leonardo DiCaprio movies or the Matt Damon movies because I love Matt Damon. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, they would follow specific actors and actresses regardless of what the movie was, just because, and maybe today it's the same thing, but just with products, maybe.
I feel like the internet aspect of it too has a lot to do with we don't care as much because it's so accessible. So like you look at someone like Charlie Sheen in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, I really like that Charlie Sheen guy. What's the next movie he's going to be in? I'm going to go and see that because I liked him in this movie. What's the fucking Timothy Chalamet? If I
Right.
like Timothy Chalamet, okay, he's in the show, and I can follow him on Instagram, and he's doing all these
Right,
interviews all the time,
right.
and he's in this other project while this show is
See him
on.
at the Knicks, at the NBA Finals or
Right.
whatever, right?
Like I don't need to follow his career. It's there and it's
right.
present.
It's very in my face already.
Right.
Right.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's a big aspect of it too. And then when you add something in like partnerships and product placement and things like that,
Right.
it becomes even less of a factor.
Because another like just point that I feel like is valid is this bath soap, this Dr. Squatch's bath soap, is not necessarily meant for like fans of Sydney Sweeney's movies.
No.
You know?
No.
That it's a completely different target demo. And so it's interesting that she can market herself in that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like doing something that's very, maybe you would say, off brand for her, but is this successful? I guess we'll find out if it sells well.
I wonder how much money this makes her
Right.
in the end goal, or how much it already has just for signing on to do it. Right.
Right. Yeah. Because, I mean, she does, like, you see these actors do more, like, small Hulu ads or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, small ads in between your streaming show or whatever the case is. And I think that that's another interesting concept, too, is, like, seeing someone that you would think is a big celebrity, and then they're doing an ad for, like, a mobile game or something
Right.
like that on your Hulu show. And you're like, what are you doing here? What's going on?
To the point where, like, you don't see a lot of genuine commercials now that aren't product placed with actors.
Right.
Like, look at fucking like Mint Mobile or something. It's Ryan Reynolds' brand, right? You look at Dr. Squatch and there's Sydney Sweeney. You look at all these IHOPs using Dale Jr. now to advertise.
Mhm.
Like, it's not just random actors talking about IHOP anymore. It's the product hinges on, hey, we know people like Dale Earnhardt Jr.,
Target
so let's use
specific.
Dale Earnhardt
Yeah.
Jr. to sell this product.
Right.
It's no longer just, okay, we'll hire some actors and make a commercial, which I think it's a weird aspect of target demoing, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Of like, we know you might not give a fuck about this soap, but if you think Sydney Sweeney's hot, then we can sell you soap.
Right. Right.
I don't know. It's weird. And again, it goes to the point of like, I think we just don't care anymore about actors being actors. And I think that's a
right.
good thing overall, but like it leads
Yeah.
to shit like this.
Right. And I like, and I feel like it could be a part of a larger conversation of like movies don't feel as big of a deal anymore, maybe.
Right.
Like when a movie came out, it was a big deal. And like now it's sure like Avengers movies or something like that. That's going to feel like a big deal when that comes out, or the next Avatar or whatever. They're going to make hype.
People are more into releasing series on like something that you can stream.
Right, right. This
Like-
new 4-part miniseries
Yeah.
is super popular right now.
I guess the bigger question is this. Has this ever worked for you? Like, have you ever looked at something and said, oh, this is this person's product, or this is a product heavily tied to this person, that's why I want to buy it? Because, like, I mean, this has been around forever. You have like Sammy Hagar's Jägermeister, Dan Aykroyd, Crystal Skull vodka. A lot of it's with alcohol, right?
Right.
But I've never looked at something like, oh, Dr. Squash did a fucking thing with Halo when the last game came out, and they had Master Chief fucking soap.
Right.
I've never been like, oh man, that's the Master Chief soap, I gotta buy it.
Right.
I don't think anything's ever clicked like that.
The Dolly Parton and the Selena Gomez cooking sets, but that's about it because it's like pots and
Did you
pans.
buy it?
No, but I want them. I have a couple pieces of the Dolly Parton one.
I used to buy shoes that were like collabs with specific people that I don't want to mention anymore.
Say it.
Kanye West and Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Oof.
I know. 2 for 2. I made a lot of money off
2
them,
for 2.
but- made a lot of money off them, but yeah. I definitely used to buy shoes specifically that were collaborations with people because I knew that it would make me more money. But I will say to that point, have I ever done something like that? I don't think yes or no.
The Travie Patty?
I think that I have been swayed to buy that specific one out of the cast of, or like the menu of whatever my other options are.
Yeah.
If I'm already going to get that thing, or if it's with a collab with someone I like and I already go to that restaurant or that place, I will get that maybe because then, yeah. So I think there's maybe some sway, but only if I was already doing that, or like if I'm already a patron at your establishment.
If you were walking into like the liquor aisle and you saw all these vodkas and then you also saw Wheatley, would you buy Wheatley? Because
Maybe. Right. Maybe. I
Cody
might buy,
Rhodes.
I might buy Wheatley. Right. If
that
there was
would be an influence.
If it was all like regular ass vodka bottles and then like Cody Rhodes logo, American Nightmare logo on like, you know, the printed side of the, I would 1000% buy that one.
Yeah.
Without a single doubt in my mind. Yeah. So I think situations like that, like, there was a seltzer brand that released a grape flavored seltzer that was a collaboration with Death Row Records. And I thought that was kind of cool. Death Row Records is like Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. Thought that was kind of cool, and so I bought that because I was like, well, Death Row and grape, I'll try it. Like, so it does have some influence over me, but again, only if I'm already like going to purchase alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
Then sure, I'll buy the one that I think looks cool or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking like to go back to the idea of we don't have like genuine movie stars anymore,
Right, because I
right?
think that's a big, and it's something else that led me to that. I'm sorry to cut you off here. I saw someone say Jennifer Lawrence. It was like a picture of Jennifer Lawrence winning an Oscar or something like that. That she was one of the last real like Hollywood movie stars where
Yeah.
she came up in the industry, started on small indie projects, got it to bigger, and then got Oscar nominated, and then won an Oscar, and now is like considered a big A-lister. So she's considered one of the last like Hollywood icons, right?
Right.
And I think that that's interesting. That like, we don't really have that sort of concept any. That's like that's old money. Yeah, like that's old to us now. Is like
I
having
think
that.
it's the 24-hour cycle too. Everything moves so fast now.
Right,
Like we talked
right.
about Timothy Chalamet being like the next big fucking dude. He was everywhere. And
Right.
Now who gives a fuck?
Right.
In 3 weeks, who'll give a fuck about Sydney Sweeney anymore? Like it's just so quick that we turn people in and out that it does not
Right.
matter. And because everything's so versatile now, it's not just, hey, in 3 months you'll have another movie with this person, and it's oh, you can fucking see him on a Wheatley ad, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter. And on top of that, I think it's the fact that we don't like Hollywood genuinely as a community now. Like we understand how fucking terrible Hollywood is
Right.
and everything that's gone on the past 100 years
Right.
behind
So
the
you
scenes
don't
of
want
it.
to send your kids into the system. You don't want to
Right.
support. Right.
So like, why would I want to support someone who's come up purely through like the Hollywood movie star avenue of things
Right.
when I could watch, Markiplier, right? And I liked Markiplier 100,000 subscribers ago, and I watched him grow and get bigger, and now he wants to do a
Right.
movie. That's
Right.
cool. I'll go watch that movie.
Right.
I think that's the better connection. I'm not saying like that makes the people any better or it's a more pure way because there's definitely still a lot of corruption in it.
Sure.
But I feel like that's just kind of how things have trended. Of we essentially made our own celebrities
Mm-hmm.
just
Small
by
little niche
yeah.
communities getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then big corporations went, oh, you like this person, I'll make this.
Right. Yeah, that is an interesting point, I guess, is like there used to only be 5 things to watch. Now there's 500 million. And so
Right.
those 5 communities that were huge and massive and had cult followings have now all disappeared into 15 million different
Right.
sub niche cultures of people. And yeah,
You look at someone like a Robert Downey Jr., right? And he coming up through Hollywood when he was young.
right.
And it's the industry had to make Robert Downey Jr. and sell him to us
Right.
to make him a star. Nowadays, people can just do something and make a name for themselves and then go to Hollywood.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not, you have to be in and behind the scenes to be successful. You get successful and then you can do other things.
Right.
It's like fucking John Cena going to Hollywood, The Rock going to Hollywood, Batista going to Hollywood, right?
Right.
They're not,
They already had their foot in the door,
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
they were known enough to go and do other things.
Right.
Hollywood now, like movies in general, I think seem like a side project for the most part.
Right.
I see that. Yeah.
It's very because I was going to make the point of like it seems like a newer thing that celebrities are trying to get into multiple avenues to make money, but like look at the George Foreman grill. Look at someone like Michael Jordan trying basketball and then baseball. Like
Golf too, right?
golf too, right? Like I guess people have tried to do different things and go
I mean,
into
fuck,
multiple.
look at Air Jordans.
Yeah, right. People have tried to go into multiple avenues before the now in times.
We're just a
But-
big consumer company now.
Yeah, I guess we're just a big consumer population now.
Yeah, we love to consume.
Which is
I mean,
True,
yeah,
I
there's
mean,
a
look at-
shop on almost everything on your phone. You
Yeah.
could shop on Facebook, you could shop on Instagram, you could
Yeah.
shop on TikTok, you can
it is kind of
Amazon is booming.
it is kind of crazy. That,
We're
like,
single-handedly just giving Jeff Bezos all of our money.
yeah. Fed all this information, all these ads all the time.
Uh-huh.
Buy. Cody Rhodes, I don't even like vodka. buy it.
And then we're supposed to feel bad when there's like a writer's strike and actors can't work.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
As then they'll turn around and go, "Oh, but we can't make the next Final Destination movie you want to see. I didn't ask for it. Fuck you. I'm not asking."
It's just so weird that Sydney Sweeney would like it feels like she's stooping down to a level to sell
I feel like
So-
that's what Hollywood's become.
stooping down to
Yeah.
a big general stoop down.
Yeah, because the next generation is looking at influencers now, as they call them, right? They're not looking at Hollywood stars anymore. So if your influencer goes to Hollywood, then yeah, you get that crossover.
Right.
But if you're in Hollywood and you're not an influencer, you're not making that revenue. You're not making that cross profit.
Right.
You got to stoop down below yourself and start a stream.
Got to start TikTok dancing.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Big Hollywood celebrities have to start making TikTok accounts and just to stay relevant.
It's big. All of the stars in Hollywood have a TikTok and are on it regularly
Right.
because TikTok has become so big.
So, and I mean, it's one of those things that, like, when Instagram first came out, that made sense. And, like, with all these apps that when we were younger came out, it made sense that the celebrities were going to get them and use them, and it was cool. And I guess it's probably the same thing now, but we're old.
I mean, you can just go to WSR Radio on any of the social medias, too. That's the same thing. 216-859-8699 if you want to hang out. 216-859-8699. That number to text in to the Rebel Radio Show live at 5 every Monday right here on WSRR Radio. WSRRadio.com, of course, the homepage for all of our live shows, showtimes, schedules, and more. We're supported by all of our awesome sponsors like Synergy Music Studio out of Chicago, Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA, GenericClothes.com, and Hatches Honey out of the 330. 216 again, 859-8699, our number to text in. You can listen to us on WSR Radio Live 365 or us-radio.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, we're out every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and you can check out all of our other great shows like Shaney's Off Air. You can check out The Pigeonhole. You can check out our morning sports show at 10 a.m. on WSR Behind Enemy Lines with Lucas and Dom. This Cleveland sports show from Pittsburgh, as well as Indie Insights, The Grab Bag, and at 10 p.m. during the weekdays, you also get True Vault Escapades. That's a Fallout-based radio drama from Preston Harden and his crew. Again, for all of our showtime schedules and more, WSRRradio.com. You can also follow us on Discord and chat with all of us and the community in there on a bunch of different topics like conspiracies, Marvel, wrestling, and a whole assortment of things. Until next time, I've been Radio's Rebel DJ Styles. On my right, Shaney.
Bye, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Adios.
Peace.
Till I think it's over.